So what does the future hold for Facebook now that it has unveiled its new search tool? Roger Kay, President and Principal Analyst for Endpoint Technology, joins us now with more. Roger, thanks for joining us. Let's get straight to it. Facebook has faced criticism in the past over its search capabilities. So what do you think of the so-called graph search? Did it meet your expectations?
Well, Michelle, it's just rolling out, and Zuckerberg went to some length to say that it was still early days and it's not fully implemented, and it's just a beta, and it's going to be rolled out to just a few people. So it'll be sometime, he even said years before it's fully mature. So at the moment, it doesn't make a lot of difference, but it's very important for the longer term, because although Google is currently in the middle of everything having to do with looking for information and putting advertising in front of potential buyers, there are a lot of possibilities to disintermediate Google by getting between them and those users. And Facebook, with its billion users, has a tremendous potential for taking revenue away from Google. So I think that in the long term is where it's going.
Well, Google shares were actually up on the news after the search engine. How concerned do you think Google should be?
Well, in the short term, not at all, and I think that was what Wall Street's reaction was. They went, oh, it's only that, and they're just rolling it out. It'll be a couple of years before it's really a threat. No big deal, at least for now. So I think that was the reaction, and there was also disappointment in Facebook. Its shares were killed. However, you look at some of the other collateral damage, Yelp and Foursquare, which do a certain kind of local search, were damaged as well, because I think traders were looking at that and saying,
right.
If Facebook starts getting a piece of that, they're going to lose it. So they see potential for damage all around there.
But Roger, the real question that's been plaguing Facebook is how can it monetize all of its users? Does this graph search help Facebook generate revenue?
Oh, I think it will, because one of the things is that if you can put information in front of people that's very specific to what they're actually looking for. So if they do, for example, a dating social graph search, and they're looking for, I don't know, single women in San Francisco, then that's going to allow somebody who supplies some service related to that, let's say a restaurateur that says 2-for-1 drinks at some pub, that's actually going to be interesting to somebody who's looking for that situation. So that advertising is going to be attracted to those very specific searches. I think it'll be quite effective over time.
Now, very quickly, new data shows that Facebook users fell by nearly 1.4 million in early December. Do you think Facebook has reached saturation point?
I don't think so. I mean, that number is sort of 0.1%, so that's a kind of small decline compared to their tremendous growth over the years. I would say if you see that trend continuing, that could be problematic, but I imagine that Facebook will continue to grow perhaps more slowly than before until it saturates pretty much everybody connected to the internet.
Okay, thanks very much, Roger Kay of Endpoint Technologies. That's it from New York. Phil, it's back to you in DC.